Hi guys, welcome back to the Young Break Musicians with me, Roxy.
And with me, Connor.
And we are joined today by the most beautiful, talented, multi-talented, creative, stunning, probably one of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life. This is the wonderful Sophie-Rose Middleton.
Hello.
Oh, so thank you so much for coming on our podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Just giving people the heads up, you're going to disappear in a second because we are going to put a lovely little waveform of your face, your beautiful face, because when we first recorded it, the record button wasn't pressed. So we've got our one, so people will probably look at our face as well.
See our
and then,
ugly mugs.
Yeah, and then halfway through, speak for yourself,
my ugly
sunshine. And then halfway through, we will have you back onto the thing. So if you want to just give people a wave for a quick second, and then we'll start with the interview, and then we'll.
Stunning.
I must say, literally, as I laughed, I've just got a massive whiff of your Yankee candle that you've been burning.
Love my Yankee candle. I've been in here this morning building my new desk. It's a bit, I think it's out of shot at the moment, but I've been building my new desk, and I thought, it smells a bit too much like a recording studio in here, like a rehearsal room. So I brought in my Christmas Yankee candle melt, and it was the best decision I ever made.
And you're a fan, aren't you, Sophie?
Absolutely a fan of Yankee. Which my mum's house is just full of like incense and one of the electric ones that blows it up in a cloud.
They're the
I
ones.
love it.
They're
All
the
about
ones.
it.
Love that. So I've been really excited with the guests as well. Like I think we've said this with pretty much all of our guests. We've been so lucky with our guests.
We have.
We literally wrote a list down of guests that we'd like to get on, and you was near the top of my list. I was like, yeah, I want to get Sophie on there 100%, because you are just so creative and just so cool. So you do modelling, you do like performing, you do photography. Like, you are well up our street on this podcast.
All the creative areas.
All the
Love
creative areas.
Didn't want to just tick one.
No, tick all the boxes.
What's the point in doing one thing when you can do it all?
Exactly.
I love it. Because I met you quite a few years ago now, when we met through a mutual friend, Mark Ridley, who's a fellow photographer. Shout out to Mark. And I think I followed you on Facebook from then, and then I just saw you do so much stuff, and I was just like, come on, Sophie. Yeah, you do that. And then when you started doing your photography, I was like, damn, that's so cool.
Does everything.
Yeah, she does.
I'll try.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about sort of your upbringing of music and dance and performing and photography and everything?
I have a very boring story. I went to dance school as a kid.
Which dance school?
I can't even remember what the first one was called. And then I went to North Central Heart School of Dance.
Nice.
And I went there for, I must have been like 8 years old to 16.
Yeah.
I did all my ISTD grades, get them Tapper modern grades in there, lads.
That sounds really fancy.
It's not. It's really not. It's like bend and clap and a bend. But you get your grades.
You do.
And then I went to a weekend drama school called Stage Arts, which I actually now teach at, which is awesome.
That's really cool.
It's so lovely to do a full circle. Whoa. To do a full circle. I had to remember I'm on a microphone, not in a studio. And then I went to another drama school called Emildale Academy as a weekend school, and then I joined it as a full-time course for 2 years, training in musical theatre. And then I graduated from there. And I was due to go to London School of Musical Theatre for a 1-year course. I didn't want to do another 3 years after the 2, because the stereotypical training time for musical theatre is 2 years. No, 3 years. I didn't want to do 5. So, but then the first week that I went to that school, I booked a job with Disney. And so I had to choose whether to continue my training or go and do a dream job, really. Because I always promised myself when I got to 18 years old that I was, as soon as I could, I'd audition for Disney in whatever capacity that was, whether it was parks or a film or Disney Channel or cruise line, whatever it was, I wanted to be there. It was just meant to be, because the week I moved into London, I moved into a flat. The auditions came up the day after, so I had nothing to do. I'd moved into London, and I was like, well, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I thought nothing of it. I literally thought, I'm going to go sing my song, see how I get along. I turned up at 9 o'clock in the morning. I didn't audition until 4 in the evening. I waited. It was an open call. I waited around all day. And then, because I was literally like the 6th to last person, and you're meant to get like 32 bars of a song to sing.
Yeah.
They said, you're going to have to cut it to 8 bars.
Oh.
8 bars of a song is
no pressure.
Not even a chorus.
Oh my god!
But I had a really fast song, so I like got it out really quickly.
Obviously. What song was it?
Oh gosh, I think I sang.
Is it a Disney song?
No, it wasn't. I know. I wanted to go like musical theatre. I didn't want to be, because you don't want to put yourself in a box of casting.
Yeah,
very true.
You don't want to go, I want to be Mary Poppins, because they'll be like, you're not. So I went. I think I sung "Gotta Get Out" from Ordinary Days, just a bit of a belty song, a little bit of a riff. Then they said, can you sight read? I'm not very good at sight reading, but I was like, yeah. And I went over to the piano, and they were like, okay, can you just sight read this scale? Scales, lads, not the one. And it wasn't just like an ordinary like major scale. It was like, it was like all over the place.
Oh
I
my
sing better than that. It was, and I just blagged the whole thing. He played along with the piano. I think he could tell that. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. He was so helpful. Anyway, so then they called me back for the dance round. Went back the next day. I was there for hours. I went through like 10 rounds of dancing. There was hundreds and hundreds of people. Imagine, like, Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world.
Yeah.
And they have an open audition, so thousands of
So
people are
many
turning
people
up.
would be
People
there.
had travelled from like Scotland that morning to
Wow.
go
Oh my
to Pineapple
God.
Dance Studios to get turned away after literally like walking across the floor, and they went, no.
God.
It's
God.
crazy. I mean, it's a lovely day of auditioning, don't get me
Yes.
wrong, they're really kind, but people travelled more than 8 hours. People got flights, and they just turned up to be cut first round. I mean, that's the nature of the industry, isn't it? But it was just awful. I mean, I was very fortunate to get through all the rounds. I had no idea what I was doing. I just literally, I was just like, oh, I'm having a lovely old time.
It's a day out.
I love that. Learning a new routine. Lovely.
I love that.
And then we got to the final round, and there was 6 girls and 6 boys, and we got given a letter
Yeah.
to fill out that had like all our contact information. And for some reason at that point I didn't really think this means I could get the job, because I was just like, I've just got to fill out the form. That's the word.
That's the
form.
form.
So I just sort of handed it in, and it says, when are you available from? And I was technically starting drama school, and I was like, I'm free now. Like, honestly didn't think anything of it. And then it was like 3 months later I heard, so I completely forgot about it. And but then on the first week of drama school starting, I got an email from Disney saying, we'd like to offer you a contract.
That's
I was
amazing.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Okay.
Not many people get an email from Disney saying, oh yeah, we'd like you to work with us.
Well, I thought
what
it was
an
a
amazing
holiday
event. Yeah.
like advertisement.
Yeah.
And I was on FaceTime to my parents. It was my first day, and I was like, I had such a good day at drama school. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And then this email pops up with them on FaceTime, which was amazing because I got to experience it with them. And it said Disney. I was thinking, I'd like to go back to Disney.
Yeah.
And then I like thought again. I was like, that could be the job. And then I clicked on it, and it had the full offer on there.
Oh, amazing.
That's amazing.
Which was, as an 18-year-old who was so like, I didn't really get any help with auditions. I went to drama school, but I didn't get shown the ropes regarding like agencies and like actually going to auditions and what that means with contracts. And I was just like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I had to negotiate everything. It was so difficult because they were like, we want to offer you this much money. And I was like, okay. They're like, do you want to negotiate? And I didn't know what to do. I was like, no, that's a lovely sum of money. I'll take that, thank you. Which is why agencies are good people. Don't take the first offer. But yeah, it was incredible. It was for Disney Cruise Line. It was a main stage performer, singer-dancer. There were 3 musicals on board that we did that were written for the cruise line. So we did Aladdin, and then we did 2 shows called Wishes and Believe, which incorporate
so
loads
wholesome.
of different characters. They are the most beautiful stories. Working for that company was just the most like humbling, heartwarming, beautiful contract.
I bet.
all the things that come with working on a ship. I had no idea. I literally was like, I could work for Disney. And I just went on this I was so nervous before I went, full of anxiety about travelling on my own. I'd never left, really, Stevenage. I hadn't really gone anywhere crazy. Always wanted to. And then I had this opportunity and it just threw me in right at the deep end. I had to fly to Toronto on my own, stay there for 2 months to train for the shows. And I just got on this plane and that was it. I got the bug. I was like, I want to travel. I want to do more of this. And then the contract was 7 months on board, which is a long time.
Yeah.
But I did the Caribbean, so I was living my absolute best life.
Oh, I love that.
I was so tanned. It was wonderful. And I just met one of my best friends for life, Cassandra.
Oh.
Shout out. She lives in Canada, so I rarely see her, but
I want to go back
just
to
been
Canada.
the most phenomenal friendship from that contract.
That's so lovely.
And just the best memories in the world, like seeing these kids' dreams come true every day. Like if you're ever having a bad day, and there were bad days, it's not all this like rainbows town, but you just have to step out your room and go into the main area and see these kids speaking to their dream princesses and their dream characters. And it's not as bad. I don't think it was as bad as like Disney World, where you get a lot of bratty children like, I want to see this. A lot of them actually were just very happy to be there on holiday and seeing the characters. And it was just the most beautiful experience, and it was absolutely the best decision for me to not continue drama school and to go on that journey. And then from there I then got an agent, and then started getting submitted for other stuff.
What agency did you join?
Andrew Harding Management.
Okay.
Another shout out. And then I just got into the world of like auditioning, doing a few jobs. I did, oh my gosh, trying to remember my life. I did pantomimes. They're good fun around Christmas time.
And we love Christmas, don't we? When we're talking about Christmas.
On.
Oh, I really do. It's like another me that comes out around the season. It's
Christmas,
great.
like the Christmas channel is starting 3 months early. Like it started like last week or something now.
Tesco's is a full aisle ready.
Oh, I saw that. It's a proper thing. Do you know, people sometimes are like, oh, when winter comes, everyone like gets sad and everyone gets down. I'm like,
winter's
oh
my
God,
favourite
Christmas is coming.
season. I love winter because I get hay fever in the summer, so winter, perfect.
Winter is coming.
I don't mind the change of season. I don't like it when it gets really bitterly cold and you have to wear 10 layers to go outside. But this season that's changing right now, don't mind the leaves. Don't mind all the beauty that
like
comes
a bit
from
of
nature.
autumn
as well. The sun as well is literally banging at the minute.
We're having an Indian summer.
We are. It's
we
mental. I love it. Especially with your Yankee Candle, like with the whole like winter. What's it called?
Oh, something like frosted, like
Christmas.
Icicles or something.
Yeah.
It was like I don't know. Apparently
that
that's
up.
frosted icicles or something. It had, and I don't know why how they choose the names, because how do they know what an icicle smells like? It's water, isn't it?
Yeah, it was.
The best one is Perfect Christmas Tree.
Ask Google.
Ask Google. Yeah, no, the best one is Perfect Christmas Tree. Honestly, it smells like a Christmas tree farm.
See, I'm not much of a fan of the Christmas trees. I love the like coming home for Christmas kind of
gingerbread and home baking smell.
Oh yes, that's the one.
And the mulled wine on the
them.
side, and and the Christmas pudding, and the bread sauce, and just
pigs in blankets.
I'm just imagining Christmas dinner right now. I think we all should leave and go get a Christmas dinner somewhere.
Toby Carvery Christmas dinners, they are.
Yes. However, Winter Wonderland has been cancelled this year.
Yeah.
COVID.
Honestly, COVID's cancelled more things than YouTubers. It's mad. I love Winter Wonderland.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a tragedy.
It is. Honestly,
it is.
COVID's cancelled more things than YouTubers. It's a nightmare. It's so bad.
Oh God, it's been awful, hasn't it? It really has. But have you been busy considering COVID?
I mean, before this all happened, I was doing Six the Musical on Norwegian. So I was in the middle of the ocean, and we honestly thought, we were like, it's just a cold, for goodness sake. We had no idea. Also, we had like limited access to the internet, so we weren't really watching the news. We weren't really we just saw some like Facebook posts and things that were just people going a bit like, wash your hands. I was like, what a novelty. But then all of a sudden they evacuated everyone off the ship.
Wow.
They took off all the guests, so it was just crew, which was great.
Nice.
What did you guys get up to?
Literally, like the bars were open. We had live music because we had musicians on board.
Yeah.
I would have played hide and seek.
Nights, movie nights. We're having a lovely old time.
How long was you on there for before they
2
evacuated
weeks.
you?
We were doing that for.
Really?
Yeah, and then the last couple of days, it started to all get a little bit scary because if anyone doesn't know, on a ship, illness spreads like wildfire because it's all the same filtered air.
Yeah.
People touching things. People don't wash their hands.
Yeah.
So people started falling ill, and then we were like, okay, well that person's been isolated, that person's in a cabin, where literally we turn up and be like, who haven't we got today?
Yeah.
And they just been taken away to a cabin to be locked away from everyone else.
Oh my god.
And then we started, and then they started limiting when we could go eat. We couldn't all go at once. We had to go at certain times. They had to test our temperature.
It's when it affects your day-to-day life. That's when it feels real, isn't it?
And so we were all like, we stopped in Miami at last after floating around, not knowing what was going on. And we were all laying out in the sun, so we were all really hot. And then they were like, we have to test your temperature before you go eat. And we were all really stressing out because we had all been laying out in the sun. And we were like, I don't know if I'm ill. Because if your temperature was too high, they'd take you away.
Oh no.
Oh my
So
god.
we were all so scared.
When you say that, it makes me feel like men in white coats are just going to be like, off you come with us now.
Well, no, it would literally be like you're split up from the group and you're taken to a cabin, and that was it. We didn't know how long it was
And
going
you
to last.
never saw them again.
And honestly, some of them I never saw again.
Oh my god.
Like I didn't get to say goodbye to them or anything. It was really weird.
If they're watching, we hope you're okay.
Yeah.
You're still alive. No, they're good. We've got group chats going.
Nice.
Yeah, and then literally we had 3-hour warning. 3-hour warning to pack up our entire rooms, being like, your flights are tomorrow. Here is your flight information.
Oh my
Go
god.
pack. Get ready.
Damn.
We were like, and so that was a crazy experience, and we got flights home, which I got upgraded to first class.
Nice.
Because one of the flight attendants was a big fan of Six the Musical. And he was like, as in the musical. Yes.
Oh.
And he upgraded us to first class.
That's
amazing.
Shouts out.
Love that.
So that was amazing because we were all so devastated. We just lost our jobs.
Yeah.
We didn't know if we were coming back. It was very traumatizing, like packing up your life to go home after saying goodbye and like what's happening. So that was just absolutely phenomenal. It was like food on demand. You got like popcorn, chocolate, like whatever you wanted to eat, whatever drinks you wanted. You got pajamas, you got the bed,
Nice.
you got big TV.
See,
it was fantastic.
on my way back from San Diego, I was doing a little vlog on for my YouTube channel, and I had my camera in hand, and I asked the people at the check-in desk, do you mind if I stand by that window to film like a little time lapse of like the runway and planes taking off? And I went, yeah. And then one of them tapped me on my shoulder as I was setting up the shot, and they went, are you a YouTuber? I was like, yeah, with my 250 subs. Yeah, sure, I'm a YouTuber. So he went, oh, business class for you guys then. I was like,
No.
yes, go on then.
That is a hack, guys.
I know,
I'm
right?
going to use
Just
that.
bring a camera with you.
Who did you fly with?
Norwegian.
Who did you
Norwegian
fly
Air.
with?
BA.
BA.
Oh, nice.
British
Well, because of my
Airways.
first seat that I got, I was literally squished between. I was like at the window.
The
and
long
this
haul
man.
flights, they really cram people
And
in,
I
didn't
was
they?
just like, my whole life was just falling apart.
Oh.
I'm going home. And I just like sat there like crying in the corner. It was so pathetic. But I was literally so overwhelmed with what was going on. I was like, I don't want to go home. I don't want to do. And now there's COVID in the air.
Nice.
And then he came and got me. I was literally just sitting like this, all crumpled up in the corner. He came and got me. It was so good.
That's so lovely.
I'll never forget that. Thank you, Gavin.
Oh.
So yeah, that was absolutely amazing. And all he wanted in return was for us to sing for him. He just wanted a song from the show.
Back
So
when
we
singing
all
was
just
allowed.
like sang for him, and we got told off for being too loud.
No.
But he didn't care. He was the manager, so he was like, I don't care. I'm hearing 6.
Nice.
So that was really cool. But it was so devastating. Like 6 was, from the moment I saw the show, I literally came out, I was like, that is my casting. I need to be in this show.
Mm.
And then cut like a month later, I was in for the audition and I booked it. And I could, I don't know how everyone feels about energy, but when you put that energy out into the air, it really did just come back so immediately.
Yeah.
It was like, I really believed that was the next job I was meant to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it was incredible. The costuming, the show, the woman power that comes with that show was just phenomenal. And I was so proud to be a part of it. It's just so sad that it had to finish. And they didn't complete the contract. I'd recently come back from Footloose, the musical.
Oh, wow.
And I just did Alaska, which was amazing, and I did another show on board, which was an aerial. I'd learned like climb ropes and fly around and do.
I
aerial
saw you
stuff.
do that. That was so cool.
It was amazing.
You were putting things on your Facebook, weren't you? And I was just like, that's super cool.
Sounds like a Pink concert.
It does. Yeah, it does.
I mean, it was the hardest training I ever had to go through in my whole life. We had to wake up at like 6 a.m. They wanted us in full hair and makeup, so we were like getting ready like in the morning, and then had to just go climb ropes over and over and over again until we built up the strength to do it.
That sounds amazing.
It was amazing. I mean, it was really hard. We had cuts and bruises.
Yeah, I
saw
bet.
your
all
bruises.
over with blisters. I mean, I was actually quite lucky. I don't really bruise or graze very easily. My friends, because we did bungee training as well, like flips and stuff in the air, bungees. Their hips were so bruised, like they were just black, and all of our wrists were all cut down the side from the ropes. We were like, just been abused. It was just. But then the final product, and like. I was cast as the primary aerialist, which I was so happy about because it meant I got to do it for every show. And it was just such a good experience for my body health and like my strength. And it was something that I would always have loved to have done, but would never have trained in it otherwise.
Yeah.
And I got to do it on a job, and that was just incredible.
So what is your sort of fitness regime when you're in those kind of musicals and those kind of job roles?
So, I mean, they have gyms on a cruise line, they have gyms on board. You can use crew or guest depending what cruise line you're on. They have fantastic equipment on board. Also, doing the shows in general is great fitness.
Yes.
We also do like extra training, especially for the aerialists. We have like training every week to make sure we maintain like quality of the show and strength and speed and everything. And that I'm not much of a fan of running.
No.
Same.
I'm not much of a fan of working out in a gym. Like,
Same.
I just find it boring. I love
Eating.
I love chocolate.
Sorry.
You're welcome.
I'm so sorry.
I love doing like classes. I love being in like a room of people that all feel like motivated and everything. So I love teaching classes. I love taking part. I was doing classes just before I got that Footloose contract, but the gym's closed down now. I'm absolutely devastated about that because it was such a good gym. But we had this thing, I think it was called drum and bass, where we had like drumsticks.
That's amazing.
But we got to like hit the punch bag to a rhythm, and it was like
That sounds fun.
it was so much fun, and it was like to a really like strong beat, and like your arms would get so worked out. It was brilliant. But yeah, I prefer to be instructed. I prefer to have like a personal trainer or someone there to keep me
Push and motivate
really push me. Because that's the training I had in college. Like we literally were there 7:30 in the morning, 45-minute cardio. It was insane cardio, and then per class we'd have a warm up per class. So I was very used to being in that environment. So I don't like then going to the gym and just standing there and being like bored. I love to be like engrossed in the music and everyone's sweating around you. Not during COVID times. But now it's Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom.
One of those things nobody heard of before COVID.
Yeah. And you said it should be renamed.
Oh yeah, it should. It's,
are you there? Can you hear me?
Slogan should be Are you there? Can you hear me? Question mark. Because it's so unreliable.
It's so true.
It's the worst.
I have to teach over Zoom now.
Oh no.
Which has been an experience. It's not that bad because if you're teaching dance,
Mm.
you can just mute everyone.
Nice.
And the only voice you have to hear is your own because you have control. You can literally shut them up with a button.
Perfect.
What a novelty. But my friend's been teaching singing, and you know, as soon as you say everyone sing together, you get like 10 different harmonies, different timing.
Yeah.
There's such a delay on it. It's
Such
a nightmare.
delay. It's awful. So that's been an experience as well. But I'm very grateful to have a job and to be able to keep teaching and seeing the kids, and that's been really fun.
What age groups are you teaching?
So I'll teach anything between 4 and 18.
Oh, wow.
So
Wide variety.
I really miss doing like baby ballet classes. They're my favourite.
That sounds adorable.
They're like 3 to 5 year olds with their little tutus
I can't deal.
and doing their little claps and their runs on their toes.
Oh, bless.
Super cute.
It is so sweet.
That's one thing I miss about my old job in the nursery. Like every Friday we'd have something like a little assembly for the kids that like they'd get a certificate if they'd done something good. So if they've learned how to write their own name, they'd get a certificate, and we'd sing we'd sing like birthday songs. So I'd get my guitar out, and one of them, a little boy called Eric, he was so cute. Love him.
Love that name, Eric.
You don't get many Erics. And
Barry's,
Keiths.
Don't name your child Barry.
Don't name your child Barry. And he used to love that song Shotgun by George Ezra, but he used to call it Hot Sun, which was the cutest thing. I love that bit.
I miss the interaction. Hopefully the school that I teach at, we should be going back in the next couple of weeks face to face, but it's going to be very different. And I'll admit, I really do miss like properly interacting with the kids and teaching them. I don't feel like I'm teaching them so much on Zoom.
Yeah.
I feel like, you're kind of watching 10 screens at once.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to watch.
Yeah.
But you want to give them the best lesson possible and give them critiques and correct them. And so I've really missed that, but that's hopefully something we can do when we go back to live teaching
amazing.
again. Yeah.
That's so cool. So you're not only just a performer, are you? You also do photography.
Yes, I do photography.
And
amazing.
this is the best part. You are a fellow Canon user.
Yes.
You are. Love the Canon stuff.
I was kind of
Very much so.
I was thinking like,
What if
I
she's
should have asked her beforehand if she's not Canon, because if she's not Canon,
What if she's Nikon? What if she's Sony?
Yeah.
What if she's Pentax?
Yeah.
Fujifilm.
Fujifilm. No.
No. So what do you have in your camera bag? Would you like to let us know what you have?
My go-to, because I do a lot of headshots, so I
Yep.
have my Canon 5D Mark III, which is a beautiful full frame.
Amazing.
And I usually use 85
That
millimeter.
is such a good lens for portraits.
Yes, and it's also so light. So it's, I've got a 70 to 200, which
That's
I
next
also
on my
love
shopping list.
using, but it's so heavy. Honestly, like if I ever ask like the client to hold the camera to look through the photos, they're always like, oh. I'm like, I know, I'm muscle. But it's a nice little workout.
It is.
But
Honestly,
they're
carrying
great
my
for,
camera
like-
bag, it's a chunk. Like, it's a workout.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But they're great for like family shoots when you've got kids moving around. It's a great sports lens,
Yeah.
And out
especially
of
for
the
dance
action
photo
lens.
shoots. Yeah. I'd say that's my go-to. That's my
Okay.
main.
Nice.
I have a 24 to 105,
I've got that sitting over there.
I've
Yes,
got
I
I've got
noticed.
mine in there as well.
which I love.
Yeah.
I just don't get to use it as much with the kind of photography
It's a
I do.
nice versatile lens
Yeah.
because you've got the focal length of 50 and 85 as well, and then you get all the way to 105
Yeah.
for slightly telephoto stuff, and then you got 24, which is slightly wider. It's nice.
I do, when I use that one, I do want it to go a bit. I always want it to go a bit
Bit
wider than it does.
Yeah.
And so I always find myself just then going back to my other ones because I just know how they work more.
See, I've got an 11 to 22, and that's amazing.
That's a beautiful. I actually borrowed that from someone, and I didn't give it back for over a year. Sorry. Now they've taken it back. Now I'm like, what do I do now?
Oh wow, a year! I thought you was gonna. I borrowed it for a few days and I didn't give it back for a
No.
few weeks.
It was
a year.
It was a year.
nice.
It just never came up in conversation. I was like, well, as long as they don't mention
It's like
it,
an
I'm just gonna
unspoken
keep
thing.
using it.
I love
I'm a
that.
terrible person.
I love that.
No, but it was fine. It wasn't a problem. When they wanted it back, I gave it back.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just kept it quiet until that time. And then I love carrying a reflector, a little
Nice.
hand reflector.
Okay.
I actually bought an Amazon flash.
Amazon ones are good. The basic
It
stuff.
is good.
Yeah.
And I like if I do like parties and stuff, I've been more than happy with the outcome. I didn't have to buy anything crazy expensive.
See, I've bought all my lenses and stuff second hand.
Yes. I can't remember where I got mine from. It was a website. That
Camera
does,
World for me
Maybe it was Camera World.
in Stevenage. Big up to them.
Yeah, we love
in the old town.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
Yes, that's great. I had another one that was online. I can't remember what it was called, but reused.
Nice.
Why not? You don't need to buy it.
Canon
new for it to be
refurbished is
good,
quite good
you
as
know?
well.
Oh, second-hand cameras.
Yes.
Often people just sell them because they need the money.
Yeah.
And they're worth a lot. And they don't if you take care of them, they don't lose their value, really.
True.
So, but then if you buy them second-hand, they're going to be a lower price. So I always advise to do that.
Very true.
I also have a Canon 700D.
Nice.
I love it because it has the flip around.
The flip out screen is the
flip out
best.
Screens.
It was my first camera, so it was a lot cheaper than the 5D.
If the 5D, like either of the Mark 5Ds, like 3, 4, Mark 5, if they all had flip out screens,
they would be incredible. They would be so perfect because they're great at filming as well.
Yeah, they got 4K.
Yeah, but it's so really annoying because I do lots of self tapes for
Yeah.
my acting career, and I have to depend on my parents' eyes
Yeah.
to tell me if it's in focus, which it never is. So that's fun.
See, that's the thing with these cameras, because we film them all in 4K. With the Canon M50s, they lose the really good autofocus. It goes to like contrast-based autofocus, so it's constantly like hunting for focus. It's a nightmare.
Yes, that's
and
what
it
mine
crops
does.
It's a nightmare.
It's really difficult, especially when you can't see the screen.
Yeah.
And my mum will go, yes, it's in focus, press record. If I slightly move, the entire thing is out of focus, or it's just bouncing in between.
That's why we have to set these to manual. But M50 Mark II is out in a couple of weeks, I think, so fingers crossed for that.
Christmas list.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll be trading that up for a Mark II,
Amazing.
which will be nice.
Yeah,
What is that now?
That's just the current M50.
Oh.
But there's some really good things to it, but there's also some like Canon crippled their cameras with things like the R5 with the overheating. But this one, it's great. It's portable, got flip out screen, but the 4K is basically unusable if for certain situations. Like it crops in.
Yeah.
And it's already on an APS-C sensor, so it's already cropped in.
Oh no.
And you lose the focus.
Oh. Well, really?
But with the Mark II, they're fixing that.
That's good.
Apparently. Touch wood.
Might as well just get an old video recorder.
I know, right?
Yeah. Ones that you hold with your whole hand. The zoom at the top.
See, this studio's got one, and it's got like IBIS in it, which is like gets rid of all like shakes and stuff, and apparently, and that's 4K and everything.
Fancy.
I know, right?
Maybe get one of them.
I know.
Oh no, because you're going to get the next one.
Gonna get that, yeah.
He's
Flip out
already
screen.
excited, I can tell.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
He's
My bank
ready.
account ain't, but I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's okay.
True.
We won't talk about that side. No one has to know.
Exactly. Multiple credit cards later.
Yeah. Let me get my box of credit cards.
Oh, bless you.
So, what would be your dream camera setup then, or have you already got it?
I mean, I could go higher with the 5D. I mean, they're always going to be improving it with everyone that you go up.
Yeah.
I would have got the 5 if I could. It was just a bit too out of the price range.
$5,000 or whatever it is.
Yeah, and it wasn't worth it to me. I wasn't making that back so quickly in profit,
True.
so I didn't feel the need to. When the Mark III is perfectly good to use.
Yeah.
Loads of people still use
Yeah,
like the
it's a
Mark III.
fantastic-
I was reading the Canon magazine, and it always like tells you which camera it was shot on and all the settings for it. And what like loads of the photos are still on like the Mark II.
Yeah. They're
such good
great
cameras.
cameras. It's just when Canon comes out with something new, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
And often people think that's worth paying the price for. I would also pay the price for, but it was just a bit extortionate for me. Probably the setup that I have now, but with a Mark V.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's just a brilliant. It's just
such a good
perfect
camera
for what I need it for.
Yeah.
And when I got the 70-200, that was what I was really desiring, because I was getting asked to do shots of like theatre, and like it has a really big zoom, so I can stand.
And then
quite
if you
far
get the
back in
tele extender, like
Yes.
×2 or ×4,
absolutely, which makes it
such
even
a boost.
better. And then like football games or dances and things that are like that are really great. So for what I do with my photography,
See, my dream lenses would be 16-35, 24-70, and then 70-200. 70-200. That would be my lens goals right there.
yeah, that's a great collection.
It is.
How do you feel
24
about the 50mm?
I love the 50.
I do like 50.
I love it.
It is
I love
such
the
a good
50.
lens.
Yep, I love it. It is my favourite.
Yeah, I do love that lens, but because the M50s take a different mount. So you've got the EF mount. These take EFM, and there's not many lenses for that. So I put a speed booster on it, so it turns my 50mm from a 1.8 to a 1.2.
Oh,
it's amazing.
That's incredible.
So basically,
amazing.
It's amazing. So it basically makes like EF lenses like that perform like a full frame lens.
That's incredible.
On a crop sensor camera, which I love.
Oh, that's the thing. where did I go? I went to a party the other day. I was doing some photos, and I put my 25 to 105.
Yeah. 24 to
105 on my 70D, and I forgot that it was cropped.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this lens doing? And I completely forgot how different it is.
It's so weird.
It is like to hold it on the 5D and to see the quality and the amount you can zoom with it. And then putting it on the 700D, I was like, oh, well, this didn't do what I wanted to do. That's great.
See, I was out yesterday having a proper camera nerd out, and someone had a 1DX Mark II.
Ooh.
Yeah, big boy.
Ooh.
Big boy camera, and that was full frame. And like using this for like the last sort of year and a bit, crop sensor, and then looking through the viewfinder and the screen of a full frame, I was like, oh my God, I need a full frame camera now.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. It made a big difference when I was doing headshots and stuff. Just even like quality wise, it just really
performs better.
Yeah, it just performs.
Handles low light better as well.
Yes, which is a big thing because I do a lot of outdoor photo shoots, especially now with social distancing.
Yeah, good one,
so
COVID.
That's great because you can never depend on what. I mean, even today, I actually did a headshot session today,
nice.
And the sun was going behind the clouds constantly, and we were under an underpass.
Yeah.
And the light was going backwards and forwards constantly, but the camera handled it really, really well.
Yeah.
Where I don't think my cropped frame would have done so well.
I see photos like online, and then when I've downloaded like raw files that someone else has taken that I can just toy around with and edit to, like someone posted some raw files from the R5. Wow. They're amazing, and they were like ISO 200, and you can hardly see any noise in them.
That's incredible.
It's unreal, and it's like 45 megapixel sensor, like ISO 200, and it looked like it was shot at like ISO 100 in broad daylight, but it was actually like a proper dark shot. I'm like, I need this in my life. I want it.
This is like a porn channel for camera enthusiasts.
It really is. It really is. It is. What's really funny is that you said that, but one of our clips that we did started to perform really well, didn't it? And then we were like, why is this going really well? Why has this got like a load of peak of views?
I was checking the YouTube studio analytics, and it was basically talking about our good friend Rob, who did like a charity music festival, and I made a little highlight clip of it, and it was it was getting like thousands of views, and you get the full analytics like a couple of days after the video's been published and online. And when I checked, where is this actually being seen? And it was like, oh, porn sites. Yeah. Someone had like shared it in porn sites. I mean, it's completely unrelated to porn because it's a music festival in a pub.
Is very sexy, so...
I think it was more Connor they were probably after with the long hair.
And it was getting shared on like porn videos on YouTube.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's quite an achievement, guys.
Yeah.
I know. And you've on the other day you had a advert on your music channel, didn't you?
Oh yeah, because my channel's monetized. Took a while. One of my mates sent me a screenshot. He was watching one of my videos, and Durex were advertising on my channel.
Oh.
I'm not going to complain because they're premium ads. So
I mean, yeah. That's like
they're the good ads.
You made it.
Yeah, I've had Walkers, Adobe, Durex, and Squarespace, and all those
amazing.
Like ones like
they're
advertising.
Really big ones.
Yeah. So for some reason they're giving me premium ads. So I'm like, thanks YouTube.
That's great. Yeah. That's really great.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I can just picture like my next video. This video is brought to you by Durex. Can you imagine?
I mean, it's like when people get like, oh, I got an advert, and adverts pay so well.
They do.
If you get like, it's like Viagra, and you're like, that's your voice. That's the advert you got.
Yeah.
The advertisement.
Yep.
For Viagra.
Yep.
See, I've had a brand deal with NordVPN. Big love to NordVPN. They pay well, which was nice. And then hopefully I've got one next month with a company they're an interesting one. Everyone is getting brand deals with this company at the moment. I can't say who on the pod just because I haven't
Super secret.
said it yet, but it's just such a funny thing to advertise halfway through a video.
COVID.
Sponsored by coronavirus.
Sponsored by Wash Your Hands.
Who's a good like soap company? Sponsored by Imperial Leather or something.
Yeah.
No, well, actually, the podcast we've got on Thursday is an interesting one about copyright. So we're interviewing this, well, depends when it's out. It might already be out, don't know. But we're interviewing this guy who's the founder of a company that let you use chart music in your videos without getting a copyright claim.
Licked, they're called.
Yeah, and you can still make money off the videos as well. So if you wanted a song like something by like Sam Fender, you can use that song, and they've got a software that basically detects that you've bought that song through them, which basically waives the copyright claim that would usually go on there.
Wow.
Pretty
Clever,
sick.
isn't it?
That is clever.
It's pretty cool.
We met them at VidCon. Have you heard of VidCon?
I haven't been.
We annoyed them at VidCon.
Yeah, we literally pestered them because they had these really lovely jackets and I really wanted one, and they were like, yeah, you can only get it if you win it. And I was like, okay, how do I win it? And they were like, well, you could tell us what you would call this lady, and it was basically a giant head, wasn't it?
It was basically Diana Ross, wasn't it?
Yeah, made out of like vinyl.
And it was like an afro,
vinyls.
but all made of black vinyls. What did we name it in the end?
I can't remember. I'll probably
I'll
still
have to
have the
rewatch
notes
the
on my
vlog.
phone, but yeah, but it was really good. Like I came up with some really great names.
Yeah.
Did you win it?
Yes,
You won it.
we won.
Yeah.
We won two really nice jackets, didn't we?
Yeah, we got a jacket, like a little bum bag thing,
Bum
and
bag.
a water bottle.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah.
cool.
That's great.
Yeah,
pretty
it was
cool.
Well
great.
done, everyone.
Big up
Thank you.
Lick.
Good
Yes.
job.
Yes.
Big up Lick.
So we've got them coming on. And
Awesome.
we've had Carrie Ellis as well, which was amazing. And you said something about you've got a little
story,
connection with Carrie.
Yes, she is really lovely. She was actually the patron at Emildale Academy.
Wow.
Okay.
So she came for an evening with Edza. She sang there, and she's one of the patrons for the school now, which is really cool.
That's really cool.
She often came to a restaurant that I used to work at, so that was good. Hi.
Nice.
Which is nice.
So it's funny, she did it over Zoom with us, and then I was chatting to her on Instagram, just like thanking her and like just filling her in when the episode would be out and all that sort of stuff. And then she went, "Oh, I didn't realise you were in Hitching." Because she'd like checked into like this cafe that I go to.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, I didn't realise you're in Hitchin. I should have come there in person."
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
no, I was
"Oh,
going to say she
no."
lives close.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think I would have been able to cope with that though. Like literally, I already fangirled on her. I was just like, Carrie Ellis is on the screen talking to me. I was so excited. So if
she's a
she's
normal person.
She is.
she's not though, she's just a goddess, is what she
You're
is.
not wrong. Not going to disagree.
She's just
Well,
amazing.
She said that she's going to come back on and she'll do it in person, which is really
that's
cool.
amazing.
Yeah. And then I can
Exciting. Like, you're
prepare
really
myself. I can prepare myself. Like I love Kerry t-shirt, and then on the back it's like, yeah, I've met Kerry.
I know, right? No, I sent her a voice note, and like some point, like early next year, she'll come on in person, which would be cool.
Oh, amazing.
Big up
Yeah,
Kerry.
she's great. She was great. She really was.
I
Oh,
make
bless you.
fancy Zoom like backdrops because when we did Kerry's one, her signal was a bit bad, so the Zoom audio was going out of sync with the Zoom video. So she'd like her video would stop talking and she'd be getting ready to listen to us, but then the audio would still be playing. It was like, do you know, I'm not going to be syncing this up. I'll just make like a little template with a little waveform going across every time she talks. That was a pain to edit, but
Yeah.
bless her.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You have to use this space for like your self-tape things for
Oh
auditions.
my god, this would be
Yeah.
amazing. Are you kidding me? Trying to do self-tapes at home. You'll all understand me, performers. It's horrendous. It's like the cat's meowing outside. You got cars pulling in, someone banging on the wall,
Yeah.
your mum shouting dinner's ready,
Yeah.
the Hoover going.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Oh, it
Oh,
is.
And then you
no.
have to look all like calm and collected and like,
In the zone.
oh,
See, one of my friends, one of my friends and neighbours who lives upstairs from me, she does like musicals and stuff, and I often hear her like shouting at the camera, like I messed it up
Yeah.
or stuff, and I'm just going to knock on her door because we do that, and I'm like, Laura, are you all right? And she went, yeah, camera died.
it's horrible. You think road rage is real?
People rage.
Self-tape rage is worse.
Camera rage.
Especially, yes, if you're like working with someone as well, like, love your mum, but we did a self-tape and she just reading the script was just. It was just there was this thing about frogs. She was like, the frog is fluffy. Like she was trying to do her acting voice. She didn't realise she was going to be heard on the camera. It's so funny.
That's adorable.
But after like 4 hours of that, you kind of get a bit like, right,
take number 50.
So many of my friends. Steph outtakes on Instagram. It's amazing. It's everyone's out like self tapes that go wrong.
Nice.
It's amazing. It's so funny.
What's it called?
Steph outtakes.
Steph outtakes.
Yeah, I think it's that.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, it's literally just performers sending videos to her of their self-tapes that have gone wrong. You've got people falling over, people crack. I love a vocal crack.
Nice.
And they're so funny. It's just something about the lack of control that we can all relate to. On them times where I just don't know
inner human comes out.
See,
we had Zoe Burkett on a few months back, and obviously she's been in like The Bodyguard, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. I was going to say, I always mix it up with Queen of the Night, but that's a Whitney Houston song, which is amazing. Well, she's been in Pop Idol and stuff, and she sent me a little video of her doing like a self-tape, and her dog Honey, because she's from like Darlington and up north, she pronounces it as Honey. Honey. And she was halfway through like this big chorus of a song, and Honey just barked in the middle of it, and she just looked at the camera like
it happens all the time. She's like
awful. That. And then her daughter Aria, cutest name ever, she's the sweetest kid, and she was halfway through like this, like it was like a line one, so it wasn't like she wasn't singing, she was actually just like reading her lines, and Aria was like, "Mum, I want a snack." And then her husband, Turkish, was like, "It's nearly dinner time." She went, "You want a snack?" Because she was still in her accent for the thing, and she's like, "You want a snack?" Loving it.
That's brilliant. I could literally watch videos like that all day.
They're the best. Someone should do like a You've Been Framed like series, but just on like theatre and music mishaps and self-tape like outtakes.
That's really because
on
the art. Are you?
I am.
What was that for?
I don't know if you ever saw the video, but I'm singing and a chair hits me in the face.
Standard. See, I
made so much money off of that video. I went on something else called Viral Tap as well with Caroline Flack. And I won the series, and I got like £1,250 from them.
Nice.
And I'm on the introduction. I don't know what series it is. To You've Been Framed. Claim to fame.
Nice.
Brilliant.
See, I got $300 from a TV show called Ridiculousness because I filmed someone. I was on holiday, and this guy, he was going to run into the pool, but run across lilos. Oh yeah, as you do, thinking he could like walk on water. It went exactly as how you'd expected it, and he was a porky guy, let's say that, and he was hefty. He'd been at the all-inclusive buffet, and he was getting ready to run. He was so in the zone. He did the whole leg thing, like he's warming up for it, and he started running, and someone like kicked a deck chair in front of him, and he fell in. He bobbed up and was like, "Oh, my toe." It was so funny. The lilos in the pool just went everywhere, and I put it on a very old YouTube channel, which I don't think currently still exists. I hope I deleted it because
disclose.
I don't know if that channel's still open. It's one of my old ones, and I got an email from this show called Ridiculousness, and they were like, "Oh, can we feature that?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So there was like $300 later, and they sent me the episode link. I was like, nice.
That's really cool.
That poor guy.
I didn't even know. It took a year for my You've Been Framed one to come out. I submitted it just thinking, well, I give 250 quid.
Yeah.
A year later, I got a letter through the post, like, we're going to be featured. I was like, oh, it's actually happening. I'm actually getting some money. And then...
I could just picture you and the entire family all gathered around the sofa to watch you get hit by a chair.
It happened. Well, I had loads of people messaging me. I didn't know when it was going to be. They all just were like, this is you. I was like, it is me. And then I don't know if anyone remembers Viral Tap. It had like 2 series, maybe 1, can't remember. But they got celebrities in to rate how funny your video was.
Nice.
And depending on how funny it was, you got 250, 500 or £1,000. And it was like midnight. I saw the show come on, and I was like, oh, I have a funny video, made some money off of it, I'm going to submit it to that.
Yeah.
And then my next door neighbour runs out the door one day, was like, you were on the TV! And I was like, why? Why was I on the TV? And it was that. And I was thinking, that's weird, I didn't hear from them. It was like something had gone into my outbox. Hate an outbox.
Nice.
and they told me it was going to go through. They gave me £250, and I was thinking, I was hoping to get the 1,000, but fine. But then they emailed me and asked me to go on the show as like the final top 3 videos.
That's
I was
amazing.
like, okay. So we went to like ITV studios. I brought my mum. She was very excited.
Oh, bless.
We went on the show. And the Olympic medalist, gymnast, Lewis Smith.
Louis Smith.
Lewis
Smith. He
Smith.
does the pole vault, not pole vault, pole horse thing.
Yeah.
He awarded my video, if you're watching,
that's amazing.
to be the best one of the series, and I got a trophy. I got lots of money.
That's so cool. Did you meet? Did you say Caroline Flack?
Yeah.
So did you meet her?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. That's really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to meet her, and who else was there? I'm so sorry, I don't remember the other guest judges. Just the one that gave me the money.
The one that's important.
But yeah, it was so cool. We had to like film our reaction before we knew. So we were like waiting at the side to find out who it actually was. But earlier in the day, we were to sit on a sofa and like do a fake reaction. You would never know I'm an actress because my reaction was horrendous. I literally jump up and I like waddle. I literally like a giddy like waddle. It was so embarrassing. No, we'll never know. I'm not a performer. But yeah, so that was cool. I have such a random life. I have so many stories like that. I don't know when they'll come up. They'll just pop up in conversation every now and again. But some weird things happen to me.
I love that.
That's brilliant. Well, I think we've got time for one more question.
We do indeed. So at the end of every podcast, we ask the same question to our guests. If you was to organise your own Glastonbury then. Oh, we did a festival the other day called Glastonbury. Aww. If you was to like do your own Glastonbury.
That's it.
Or Reading or Leeds Festival.
The way you said it sounded like cheese. Glastonbury.
Oh, I'd like a bit of brie right now. You can tell that I'm not on a diet, can't you? Let me start that again. If you was to organise your own festival, like a Reading or a Leeds festival, and you had the Friday, Saturday and Sunday, who would be your headliners for each night?
Can they be dead or alive?
They can be.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whitney Houston.
Yes.
For the Friday?
No. She'd have to finish it off.
Yeah.
She'd have to be the one.
The one. The closing act.
Michael Jackson.
Nice.
Love MJ.
Oh, this is tricky.
Yeah.
See, some people find that question really tricky. Some people found it pretty easy.
Yeah.
I'll say it, then I'll regret it. Maybe like a Lionel Richie.
Ooh.
Or
not had him before.
Or I take it back.
Sorry, Lionel.
Sinatra.
Nice.
Sinatra. Oh, I love that. What day would he be on?
He'd start it.
He'd start.
Be like
he's mellow.
The start where it's all clean.
Yeah.
And your nan can come along and enjoy the day.
And then Michael Jackson spices it up a little bit on a Saturday.
And then once it gets a little bit dirty, they'll go to the back a little bit. And
Dirty Diana.
Yes.
When the younger crowd come in for Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Yes, and then Whitney, just because she's
Whitney.
She's Whitney. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks
in.
for having me.
Thank you. It's been awesome
so
talking to you about creative stuff and photography.
Having a good little nerd out.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So if you would like to follow Sophie, we will put her socials below and we'll also put her socials on our Facebook page. So go and visit our Facebook page, which is Young Broke Musicians Facebook.
And if you enjoyed the podcast, do help us out. Follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and a YouTube channel as well. So I think there's only one thing left to say, and that is
see ya.